everybody, welcome to Fess Up, where the Fess sisters... Jesus fucking Christ.
I can't hold it inside. Don't worry, I might burp at any time.
I'm worried.
Not anytime, only when it's funny.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fess Up, where the Fess sisters help spice up your conversations with unique and thought-provoking questions. That's right, we're breaking the ice with a sledgehammer. Welcome to our 30th episode. That's right, number 30. We're old women now.
I think Crystal would take offense to that.
30 is when you get old, so our podcast is now old, right? That's what they always say.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've heard that.
I have someone who might have intel on this. She might know a little bit about being old.
What? Really old.
We'll get to that in a second. My name is Amy Fess. I am the oldest Fess on the podcast.
My name is Marissa. I'm the middle Fess.
And my name is Ina, and I'm the youngest Fess on the podcast, and in general.
And appearing for the first time, Mom Fess, a.k.a. Fabrizi.
The mom formerly known as Fess.
Yes. Not the oldest Fess on the podcast because she has shunned the name Fess just as our older sister Crystal, not appearing on this podcast, has.
Touché.
But she is still our mom, and she's here today to tell us how it is to be 30. How is it to be 30? Is it old?
30 is just a young pup.
Then we are a sprightly young podcast still.
Sprightly young podcast. Okay, when do we get old?
When you get gray hair.
Okay, so when our podcast, our audio medium podcast, sprouts gray hair, that's when it's old?
When our cover photo suddenly starts losing saturation.
Yeah, because it's been sitting in the sun too long.
Yeah, that's what happened to me, too. I stayed in the sun too long, got all wrinkly.
But Mom, I'm 22, and I already have some gray hair.
Well then,
You're old.
are nearly on death's door.
I'm washed up.
So, one fun thing about our mom is this year, Marissa and I got her into playing Dead by Daylight. I think we talked about this a little bit when we did Dead by Daylight, What Two Are You?
Yes.
Our mother has never liked video games, always hated them. In fact, anyone that was, violent in any way, we were not allowed to play because it was for boys. And thus...
Not because it was for boys.
Those were the words you used.
I don't recall that.
That's because you're old.
And so her words did not deter me or Marissa or Ina. We still play video games, and we fell in love with Dead by Daylight, which, on top of being a violent video game, is also a horror video game. And one thing about our mother is she abhors horror. She is not a fan of horror stuff.
She is horrified by horror. Isn't that right, Mom?
It's true. It is true.
But somehow Marissa and I were able to get our mother to play Dead by Daylight.
We weaned her into it. We forced her to watch us play it once, and then we were like,
yes,
you want to try a round? And she was like, no. And then we thrust the controller in her hands and made her do it.
Yes. And so eventually we got her into this game, and now not only does she love this game so much, she is constantly talking about it and constantly trying to get us to play it. So we have made a monster out of our mother. That's the backstory. Our mother is now a Dead by Daylight champion. So if you ever play that game, you may be playing against a grandmother.
I rule these girls.
You rule? There is one video game she used to play before Dead by Daylight.
Mist, yeah.
Mist.
Well, to be fair, when I started playing Dead by Daylight, I was the one in the corner behind the rocks, hiding through the whole game, scared to death. And now I'm the first one to run out there and help. But it was a little bit of a transition.
There definitely was a glow up in her abilities.
So I bring all of this up as backstory because collectively we have a new insult that we have come up with. Marissa, when we lose a game, used to like to kind of just shout words at people angrily. But without being like fuck you or something toxic or disgusting. She'd just kind of throw out angry words at them.
Yeah.
So at one point, I remembered that ficuses exist. So I told Marissa that she's got to start shouting ficus at people because it just sounds so angry. But really, if you look up a ficus, it's like a fern.
And then I accidentally looked up fiscus. So a fiscus is a basket. So we just changed it to ficus in a fiscus.
Yes.
So it's a plant in a basket, basically. When you get upset with somebody or they played really poorly or were toxic and you say that, they'll be like, what? It's like, look it up.
Yeah, so now we call people ficus in a fiscus.
It's the ultimate insult.
It is.
Reserved only for people we are super pissed at.
Let's go on to our questions. This is our first question, and it is for Mom specifically. I was trying to cultivate this list of questions with our guest in mind because I know our mom isn't so hip and cool as we are. And so, when we talk about the newest fucking Ed Sheeran songs and about Kylie Kardashian's most recent butt implants, Mom won't be able to be hip to it.
Okay, Amy, I'm sorry. I just need to point out that she's not even Kylie Kardashian. You just showed how not hip you are.
Kim Kardashian is the one with the big butt.
I think they all have big butts now.
Oh, well, there could be that.
And she's dating Pete Davidson. What has the world come to?
I know.
Anyway, so Mom's not hip to all the cool shit, so I had to cultivate this for her specifically. And one thing that she watches is shows like Naked and Afraid. So this is our first question for Mom.
Oh, no.
Which one of your daughters do you think would win Naked and Afraid?
Good question.
Thank you.
I think Crystal would.
Miss not appearing on this podcast.
Why?
Okay, so now Crystal would not like to be naked, probably. That would be hard for her. But I think that she's more used to camping and being out in the elements and harshing it a little bit,
Okay, that's fair.
You three, I could see Amy being the first one to strip down and get out there.
Oh, yeah.
But then they'll hand her the thing to make fire and she'd be like, huh?
I know how to make fire. Get out of here.
Well, we did do Girl Scouts a little bit when you were little, but we always did the cabin lodge type camping.
Do you
and never-
understand how many places I've been where there has been campfires? I have had to make many a fire.
I feel like that's a bluff.
Yeah.
It's not a bluff.
Okay, so let me ask you a different question then.
Yeah.
If you made your fire, so you got your fire going, and you're out in the elements, you have to build a lodge. You could probably handle that with a little help with your partner and whatnot. And then you have to find food. So one of the things that they end up resorting to is a deadfall. So they put a rock up on a stick and it has a little trigger and it knocks it down and they catch rats. Would you eat the rat? 1.
I would.
And 2, how would you skin it and gut it and cook it?
I don't know anything about that.
Exactly.
I don't think Crystal does either.
I was never saying I disagreed with you. I'm just saying that your assessment that I couldn't make a fire is completely false. I am very interested in fire.
Thou dost protest too much.
She expected the answer to be her.
No, I don't think that I would.
I guess I have never witnessed you making a fire.
Okay, but when have we gone on a fire trip except for...
A fire trip.
Exactly.
Amy always goes out on fire trips.
Exactly. My point being, you 3 never went camping.
With you?
Okay, with me.
I've never been camping.
So you're asking my opinion, so I did not know you were an expert fire maker. So now I stand corrected.
Amy goes out on fire trips.
Dear Lord. So, all of this aside, I just want to say that if I had to, break down all of us into naked or afraid...
One or the other.
Yeah, it's one or the other. I would be naked. Ina would be afraid. Crystal is hard because I feel like in her soul she's naked, but in her head she's afraid. Just because she's a little too afraid to be a naked person because she wants to be proper, but she's not really proper.
I think I would be naked and afraid.
You're just both.
I would be the show title.
My follow-up question here is for everybody. What celebrity partner would you pair with each of us on Naked and Afraid for either maximum drama or maximum efficiency? Or we could do 2 and do both of them. But let's just say we had to pair each of the daughters and mom up with a celebrity to make the best team, either for watchability or for success, which celebrity are we pairing?
I mean, I would need someone to really shoulder the brunt of all responsibilities in this case.
What celebrity would be that?
I would need someone to do everything for me, and I'd just coast.
That would be for maximum efficiency, but for maximum drama, we throw in there somebody like Tom Holland, who you love, and maybe he loves you for a hot minute until he realizes he has to do all the work, and then the love falls apart on the show.
She doesn't want him to see her like that. These people
Naked?
don't.
What's wrong with that?
No, because after 1.1 second, you're filthy, gross, you don't shower, you don't brush your teeth.
Yeah, but you both are.
You had to put mud on you to keep the bugs off and keep the sun from burning you.
Maybe he's into that.
Yeah, but you're in it
Gross.
together. You're both gonna look gross.
I said drama or efficiency. That sounds like drama to me.
I'm just saying there won't be any love affair on any of those
I mean, the
shows.
other drama would be the fact that he does have a girlfriend, so there's no possibility of anything happening, even if he did feel something for me, so...
Yes, I think that would work for drama.
But efficiency.
For efficiency, I think we gotta pair you up with somebody like...
Gordon Ramsay.
What?
So he can make a gourmet rat?
Gordon Ramsay, you'd have to pair with somebody like Crystal, who is like, I want to try rat because I've never tried rat before. And she's out there, like, making the fire, building the huts, and Gordon Ramsay's out there trying to figure out how to make gourmet rat out of, like, fucking nightshade berries and,
And leaves.
like, lake water or whatever.
Nightshade.
Yes.
Deadly
Like,
nightshade. Because his partner bothers him so much, he wants her to shut up forever.
Turn Gordon
They
Ramsay
won't
to
have a problem
murder.
sleeping.
I mean, look at that. That's both efficiency and drama right there.
Yeah.
I would need to have somebody that would keep me warm. Because I think my biggest problem out there would be the nighttime getting cold because I freeze with blankets on. So I couldn't imagine being out there naked.
So, who is gigantic?
Someone who takes fire trips.
Who's a celebrity that, oh, I know, The Rock. I want The
Ooh.
Rock. He's big enough to keep me warm, cuddle with me. He's strong to help me build my shelter. He doesn't seem like he'd be afraid of anything.
Mom wants The Rock to do more than cuddle, I think.
I just think The Rock is not as comfortable as you think that he is.
Yeah, you need
He's
someone...
accustomed to a certain kind of lifestyle.
Well, he's from Hawaii originally, so he's probably used to, being out in the elements and...
What do you mean? It's not like Hawaii is like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but it's so nice outside that they're always
Yeah.
outside.
Says who? I'm sure there's plenty of homebodies in Hawaii.
Well, they're wasting their life.
Probably, but I mean, aren't we?
Yeah, but at least I'm not wasting Hawaii.
But The Rock is like, he's just like a decorated rock in the middle of like a cute little waterfall setup, and he's not actually like a rugged rock outside.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I disagree.
I mean, he's fabulous. I just don't think he's actually as tough as he presents himself.
Okay, Naked and Afraid, invite The Rock on the show so we can see if he's tough.
Yeah.
And I'll be the newbie that goes along.
I think that Ina should have Leslie Jones.
Ooh.
I think that she's the right kind of rugged and also strong and also would do lots of stuff.
Tough.
But also, yeah, I just think that she would balance out Ina very well.
I would like
But
that.
she also is going to command Ina to do everything. Not everything, but if Ina at any moment doesn't want to do something, she's going to get an earful.
That could be a good learning lesson
Maybe.
for drama.
That will be drama.
Drama and efficiency. Check the box.
That's true.
Hell yeah.
Well, who would we pick for Amy?
Amy gets Betty White, the end. Betty White knows how to survive.
Well, but also Amy would have to do everything she possibly could to protect her because she is a national
Exactly.
treasure.
She is.
Exactly, and Amy would be forced to do good.
If anything bad happened to one hair on her head, the world would murder Amy for letting it happen. So that would be high drama.
No efficiency, though.
Who would make me the most efficient team? Betty White's not helping.
No.
She's just gonna survive past the end of time. She's not gonna.
She'll make you laugh through all the hard times, though.
Yeah, like I think she would be a fun partner, but I don't know who's my perfect partner.
How about Owen Wilson.
So we can both say wow at each other?
Wow.
Because I definitely do the Owen Wilson wow sometimes.
Wow.
We'd just be sitting there like,
He seems
wow.
like he'd be rugged. He seems like he'd be fun.
I don't think he'd be rugged at all.
No.
No.
You know who I think would be deceptively rugged?
Mm.
Michael Cera.
I knew you were going to say Michael
Who's
Cera.
that?
It's just,
He
you
is
know Michael Cera.
You look at him and you're like, this man has hidden talents.
What's he from?
Secretly scrappy.
Arrested Development, but also Scott Pilgrim.
Juno.
Oh, okay. I know who he is.
Yeah, I just like, my whole view on Michael Cera as a human changed when I watched him on Hot Ones. And he did not, at any point, even on the hottest ones, like, bat an eye. He ate them all like they were, like, candy. He had no problems with anything there. And I was just sitting there like, how is this man doing
So
this?
And he would be the ultimate efficiency for anyone. as
So
a
he
partner.
could eat the rats,
Yes.
but does he have the strength to build the shelter? Does he have the strength to hunt for you or,
I think he could.
I think he could do it all.
He screams to me like someone who like has tried in the past to build muscle and just his metabolism won't let him be anything but scrawny, but it's not for lack of trying. Like, I think that he has probably done lots of working out and can probably lift decently heavy things, but he just
He
is not.
seems to me like someone who takes a lot of fire trips.
He probably takes a lot of fire trips. Absolutely.
That's our new term for camping trips?
No, they're trips to build fire. Amy described them. She does them all the time.
I do them all the time.
I don't think, did anyone say who would be efficient for me? Because
We said Tom
we
Holland.
went, yeah, but you went with the drama for Tom Holland.
Oh.
And then when you said efficiency, you said Gordon Ramsay. Oh, wait, no, for Crystal.
Yeah. I think for efficiency for you, it would be what was one of the male guys on The Biggest Loser? The male trainer.
Oh my gosh.
Be out here motivating you
Bob?
to try to do Bob.
I don't remember his last name.
I don't know if I wanted to say I don't know if he had a last name, but like
I don't know if he had a last name. No, he's just Bob.
We could pick Jillian for her. It doesn't have to be a guy.
True. Jillian's tougher.
Jillian
Then
is
Bob.
tough.
I mean that's true, but just Jillian was mean. Like I feel like Marissa needs slight gentleness.
I do need a slight air of gentleness. Bob had that. Jillian did not. Jillian was going to take no shit from anyone at any point in time.
Exactly. So that's why I said Bob. I didn't say it because he was a dude. I said it because I think that Marissa needs to be motivated to do the things that he can't do because he can't do everything. So he would need
Right.
to motivate Marissa to do the things, but without like making her feel like shit because then she'll just shut down and actively not do it, cross her arms until
I die.
they kick her off the show
Yeah.
or she dies or whatever. I don't know how that show ends.
Well, I'm pretty sure when you start to die, they remove you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're sucking. Goodbye. Is that like a kind of show where there's like 20 people naked and surviving at the same time?
No. Most of the shows are two people, a guy and a girl.
And then the people in the camera tent eating pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to tap out. They will medically tap somebody because there's sometimes stubborn people that are near, death or have their arm half cut off and they won't leave.
Yeah.
But typically you kind of tap because you just can't take it anymore. And, I think after watching pretty much every episode, one of the biggest things to make especially women tap are the bugs.
Yeah.
Because they
Retweet.
eat you alive. They show people's skin where it's nothing but a big bug bite and bug bite on top of bug bite. It's just a nightmare. That's what makes a lot of people tap. Starvation,
I
a lot
mean-
of people can push through being starving.
I think I would see one centipede and tap immediately.
Have they had anybody on there who like has been in the middle of their period? Because that would suck for me.
They've only had a few times where women reference their period. Most of the time, they don't bring it up. But they'll talk about it. It's like, well, I'm having a bad period right now.
It's like an adventure movie. They never talk about the periods, and you just
Right.
assume they somehow magically deal with it.
I think it's time for a bit.
A bit.
A bit?
A bit.
What's a bit?
This bit is called Heaven or Hell.
Ooh.
In this bit, we go in a circle and say something crazy, and everyone decides if an afterlife where that exists would be heaven or hell. So, for example, a world where everything is made of nacho cheese.
Heaven.
Hell.
Purgatory.
That's not an option.
But it would be.
No.
It's hell.
So that's how it works. We're just going to go in a circle and kind of rapid fire these. So, Ina, I imagined you in my head as sitting to my left, so you go first.
Because I'm left-handed.
No, I imagined it. Ina, Marissa, Mom.
All right. A world where everybody only burps every once in a while, but they burp like Marissa.
Heaven.
Hell.
Regular life. Like, that's not...
That's not an option.
Heaven, I guess.
Sounds like heaven to me. I'm living the good life like this. A world where your feet are made of pickle spears.
Heaven.
Hell. I would end up eating my own feet.
Hell.
Wait, is it like just one pickle spear, or do you have like a pickle spear with like little toe pickle spears on it?
The gherkins. Gherkins for the toes.
The little baby. Ah! It's heaven. It's heaven. I love it. It's heaven.
It's hell.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't it cute?
Yes. Mom.
A world where instead of having to drink water, you drink chocolate pudding.
Heaven.
Hell.
Hell.
Heaven!
That's too thick.
Pudding is too thick to drink.
Too thick.
That's what your body needs.
I
So
didn't drink it at all.
you can slurp it.
No, that's...
You can slurp it.
Hell.
You can lick it out of a bowl.
Hell. That's not a drink.
A world where your actual elbows are made of macaroni elbow noodles.
Hell. What is this?
Are they stiff or are they softened?
They are softened and arm-sized.
Well, I would imagine they'd be arm sized.
I just didn't want you to think you had just had a collection of tiny little elbow noodles where your elbow should be.
Hell,
It would be hell.
I think because if they're softened, you have no control over it. I feel like you need to be able to control when it's hard and when it's soft in order to move them.
Fair.
You need to arouse your elbows.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
A world in which the book you're reading sucks you into it and you live in that book until it's done.
Heaven.
Heaven.
What if I'm not reading a book?
Then you're in this boring normal world.
Purgatory for you then. Heaven for me.
If you're not in a book, you're in that white void that Squidward is in that's just like alone. Alone.
But what if you finish a book,
You have to stay in it until you get the next book.
Then you have to go get a different book.
so you're in this stupid white place until you get a new book?
You think of the book and it appears.
Yeah.
Maybe you're
So
in a
it's
library.
now not like what book am I reading? It's a book
Yeah.
that I like or a book I want to read.
Yeah, it's whatever book you decide to read, but you're in that book now.
A catalog will appear, you select the book,
Yeah.
you go in.
Like the Scholastic Book Fair.
Then heaven.
A world where everyone has a beaver tail. And I mean everyone, like even all animals and some plants.
Heaven.
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 Beaver tails are great. I agree with heaven.
A world where there are no men.
Heaven.
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 Let's make this be the last round.
Okay.
A world where everyone's teeth are as big as Jim Carrey's in The Mask.
Hell.
I think that'd be funny. Heaven.
Hell.
Heaven.
A world in which everyone looks like a pop figure.
Hell.
Hell, no one has a mouth.
No one has a neck.
Oh, fuck, you're right. I take it all back. It's hell.
It's hell.
I need to talk to survive.
Well, maybe we don't know sign language. Sign language is a very expressive language.
That's true. Do they have fingers?
Yeah, pop figures have fingers.
Okay, then it would be fine.
A world in which your freckles come off when you sneeze and just float in the air like dust, and if you walk through them, they now stick to your face.
No way. That would be hell.
Sounds like they're like a
Yeah, that
disease.
would be
Hell.
It doesn't do anything except
go-
change your aesthetic appearance.
You go out in
I
public
just-
and you just come back with splattering all over.
I'm gonna say heaven just because it doesn't sound like it just sounds like an aesthetic thing and
Yeah.
it wouldn't really change anything.
I think it's heaven, and you could probably get a vacuum to suck them up and then like put them on your face.
Spray them out to other
Spray
people.
them on with like a precision, I don't know, sprayer gun and make
A
arch-
freckle fight!
Yes, freckle fights. It sounds like fun to me.
Mom.
A world where there was no money.
Heaven.
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 Barter system for the win. Well, guys, this is where our ads would go. If we had any.
Do do do.
But we don't. So here's our next question. When we eat a hot dog, do we become the hot dog?
I mean, if you subscribe to the "you are what you eat" thing.
No,
yeah.
this is why this question has come up, because what is a hot dog? But
Processed meat. Bits
no, it's like bits of a little bit of all the meats that are like,
left over.
weird and mixed together in a casing. So if you've eaten a bunch of meats that are mixed together and then you swallow it, have you become the casing? Are you now the hot dog?
I guess, but then that applies if you eat any meat
Or
at all.
anything.
You could become casing for any foods.
That's right. You could be a vegetable casing.
I like this.
A fruit casing.
Digested cotton candy casing.
Ooh.
So are you saying we're essentially like a human boba, and if you were to bite into us, we would just kind of burst in your mouth with whatever we ate last?
With whatever we ate last, but also a bunch of like stomach acid and grossness.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, maybe that has a good flavor.
I mean, maybe to the giant aliens that will pop us in their mouths.
Yeah, maybe it would taste like cotton candy dissolved stuff, and that would be tasty.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna die, I'd like to go having an alien eat me like a gusher.
Okay,
No.
well, I think in this scenario, the aliens would harvest us. They would farm us. They would be like, I have 50 humans over in this factory, and I'm feeding them all lettuce for salad humans.
I want to be the dessert human. Feed me all the chocolate.
Or, I mean, that is true, but they also could be really invested in just picking us and have us all be like mystery, like the mystery flavor. So it's like
The Bean Boozled package.
we would
We'd
be
be the
Birdie
Body
Bots
Birds.
every flavor beans of like treats for aliens.
I'm sure they do both. I want to be an eclair human. Feed me eclairs, and then I become an eclair, because what is an eclair except something
goes all
with
my
a lot of
freckles.
stuffing? Delicious stuffing inside.
Yes.
Well, Joe Gatto would be a cannoli.
Yes.
There you go.
But yeah, I think that we would become hot dog people if we ate a hot dog. I think that makes sense to me.
Sounds like we already are.
We are hot dog people! Hot dog, hot dog, hot dog people. Hot dog.
One thing that you're forgetting,
What am I forgetting?
that when you put meats or bits of meat inside of a casing, the meat hasn't been processed or digested or noshed. It's just the food is inside the casing. If we eat, we are digesting that food and it becomes
Yes, but
bile and
To
grossness.
aliens, that is meat.
Yeah. It's just we're dicing it up a bit and we're adding our own special sauce.
Yeah, our special sauce. Mom,
Disgusting.
don't you want to add your special sauce to your own personal brand of hot dog?
My brand.
My brand.
No, not really.
Well, you're lame.
Well, you do it anyway. It's inevitable.
Here's another question.
A question.
Do you believe the fan theory that Tom and Jerry are actually best friends and that Tom has to pretend to hunt Jerry so his owners don't replace him with a cat that will actually kill Jerry?
I like that idea, but I don't think it's true.
No. And only because Jerry sadistically tortures Tom on a regular basis.
I literally hate Jerry, and I
Much.
I am like head of the Jerry hate club.
But
Me
Tom
too.
asks for it.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, he
No.
does. He should just leave him alone then if he's so sadistic.
He wants
doesn't. He's
to eat the
constantly trying to
mouse.
pursue him. So if somebody was trying to eat you, wouldn't you become sadistic
No.
to fight back?
There are episodes, Mom, where like Tom is starting by like chilling in bed or something, and then Jerry comes over and fucks with him.
Jerry is the antagonist most of the time.
He's the antagonist, and then Tom's out here like trying to catch him, but he keeps getting his plans foiled by Jerry the asshole. There is literally an episode, Mom. This is the episode that like solidified that Jerry, I want to murder Jerry. I hate him so much. And it's an episode, it's set in the Renaissance, and I thought for a long time this was a fever dream until I saw it again. It's like a Renaissance olden days like special episode that I don't think is technically canon because of what happens in it, but the owner keeps telling Tom that he's gotta catch Jerry or he's going to kill him, and then Jerry keeps getting away, and even when Tom is like literally like, I'm gonna die, Jerry doesn't give a fuck, and the end of the episode is literally the owner like taking Tom away, and then it cuts like Jerry watching a guillotine go down,
Yeah.
and they implied that they've just cut off Tom's head and Jerry is the cause of that. And then Jerry walks away laughing. That is the end of an episode.
Well, that episode I have never seen, and
I saw that
is
one.
pretty gross.
I know. Jerry
Well,
is the
it's-
true villain confirmed.
No, the human in that sake, they should just rehome the cat. They shouldn't kill the cat because they don't like him. What kind of people do that?
Well, it doesn't matter what the humans do. The fact that he laughs about it.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree that's sadistic.
And he knows
but-
the whole time, like, it's not a secret that if he isn't caught, they didn't say he has to kill the mouse, but, like, if Tom were to have caught Jerry and tossed him outside or something, I'm sure that would have appeased his human, but there was no, like, could we do this without you killing me so that neither of us die? None of those things. There was no Jerry moving to a different house. It was Jerry being like, oh, he's gonna die. He. And then he actively makes it so that he does. And then when he does, he laughs. Stupid.
Well, that's bad, but doesn't Tom try to kill Jerry on a regular basis?
That's what cats do.
Like, no, but why is it bad if a mouse is happy that the cat died?
I also don't think that they're, like, actively trying to kill each other. They're just doing shitty things to each other, but it's a cartoon, so, like, hitting somebody on the head with a frying pan while it might kill a human or a mouse now if you did it. It doesn't do that in a cartoon.
Well, to be fair to me, I haven't watched Tom and Jerry for a heck of a long time.
But you are a heck of a lot of years old, and that's why I put this question on here, because it's from your time.
Yeah, a heck of a long time ago.
Well, I doubt your family let you watch something so demonic.
I can't believe they let us watch that either, because we weren't allowed to watch pretty much anything, so...
Crazy.
Ironically, growing up, my parents had friends that's names were Tom and Jerry. The woman's name was Jerry and the guy was Tom.
Oh, wow.
We used to think that was hysterical.
Were they abusive to each other?
No, they were very nice people, but it was hysterical.
As far as you know.
Well, exactly. I was a kid. I didn't even care, to be honest. I didn't even think of it.
All right.
So basically, I don't believe that fan theory is just how I want to conclude this. I think it's stupid and incorrect and fuck Jerry and he could go die in a hole along with Ross Geller and Grandpa Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you and goodbye.
He's on the list of the top most horrible characters that are supposedly not
Cute.
villains.
Yes. Guess what, guys?
What?
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 It's time for... What two are you?
Oh, no.
Ooh.
What two Disney princesses are you?
Ooh, this is so cute. I gotta start this out with a question, a clarifying question. Are we just doing Disney's official list of princesses or also the other princesses that they don't count for no good reason?
Why would we not include all of them?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know us.
Okay. I think that Ina is Elsa.
Elsa?
Interesting.
Is it because I have very high gay vibes?
The queerness is there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Elsa is gay, and if they somehow canonically make her not gay, that's queer baiting, and I'm angry. But she's really, a kind of reserved, quiet person most of the time, kind of an introvert. But she's like really creative. Like, she's like artistic, she's creative, she makes things out of ice.
Do I make things out of ice?
Ina does not, but
I could.
But she's also a loner. I don't think Ina's a loner, is she?
I mean, she's kind of forced into isolation. I don't think she would have been a loner if she had an option.
Yeah, I don't think that I would call her a loner. She's very close with her sister and really likes to play with her sister.
Yeah.
It's just that after, bad things happen and her dad tries to punish her.
Yeah, her family punished her into isolation. She's insecure. And Ina's insecure too, They're also both very good singers, which not all princesses are, okay? Not all Disney princesses are, so that's not like a dumb thing to say. And they're both really pretty.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah.
Looks good in pants and dresses.
And they're on a journey of self-discovery.
Uh-huh.
I think the other Disney princess that Karina is, ironically, was her favorite one as a child, is Snow White, because Snow White loved everybody and everything that she met and interacted with, and the animals loved her. She also was a good singer. She was so sweet and kind and helpful, and I think Karina is all those things.
Okay.
All right. This is unconventional to do both at once, but I will allow it because that is a good...
It's a good observation. Also, Ina rocks short hair a lot.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she does long hair a lot more nowadays, but she kind of, her iconic look is still the short hair.
I still think of myself as a short hair person.
She does have, like, dark hair, pale skin.
Yes.
True.
And teeny tiny lips.
Yeah, she's very delicate features.
And also likes red lipstick.
True. She does.
And she's very pretty.
I'm the prettiest in the land.
And she
well,
likes
let's
to
not go
sleep a
that
lot.
far. She does like to sleep.
She likes pies.
Yeah.
I love pie. I want to make a gooseberry pie.
I love gooseberries. They're so good.
I've never had a gooseberry. They're never in season when I think to go get them.
I think if you made Ina run through the woods, she would get all up in her head and think that all of a sudden the trees look really scary and everything's trying to kill her. I think that's what would happen.
That is fair.
I can't say that hasn't happened before.
There we go. There it is.
I think Marissa is Merida.
Mm.
I think that she's very independent, very sassy. I think of all of us, she's the most, I don't need a man.
Yeah.
Not that, like, the rest of us, like, need to be in relationships, but I just feel like of all of us, Marissa is the least romantically inclined.
I am joyously single.
Yeah, like, living her best life. But also, she rocks the red hair most of the time, and she also rocks the wild red hair. Her hair is never tamed. And she just, I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like she's the most likely to be good at archery.
Yeah.
I don't know why I think that.
Why, if not to take deadly aim? I mean, Marissa. That's Marissa.
What a lovely Hamilton reference you just sprinkled in there so casually. That's beautiful. Yeah, I definitely think her sass and her humor.
Marissa will not be above poisoning the person that she dislikes as well.
Yes.
Or cursing them with the diarrheas for
True.
life.
But to be fair, Merida only wanted to change her mother's mind, which is also something that I would probably try to do if I had the opportunity.
To be fair, though, out of all of us, Amy's the most likely to want to make Mama Bear.
Why?
Amy's always got things going on with Mom. I don't know.
We butt heads because we think alike.
That's a good point.
But yeah, so Merida also has 3 siblings, and she's very close with them. So that's also, to put a button in it, that's the end of my case.
She also likes to be alone and likes exploring pretty scenic areas.
True. Definitely introvert princess.
Yeah. She's like an extroverted introvert, which I can relate to.
She's just like a loud introvert.
Mom's Ariel.
Oh.
The Ariel that can't
Redhead,
sing.
Big FOMO.
FOMO, yes.
Redhead, big FOMO!
I want to be where the people are.
Just like, as a fucking, like, description of Ariel, redhead, big FOMO. That's just perfect.
I mean, also a great description of Mom.
Yep.
I mean, she's a very fierce, independent woman. You know, she looks after herself. She, like, if things are unjust, she's like, well, F you. I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm. Also, she likes the name Melody, and Mom's name is Melody.
That's true.
True.
Yeah, and she did name her daughter Melody, but just in the middle part.
That's true.
I tried to name it for the first part, but I wasn't allowed. I get nixed.
It was a downvote on that. Guess which one of us has that as a middle name?
Little Miss Singer over here. Well, wait, all you sing.
Oh.
Also, though, like, Ariel's so pretty. Can we just talk about that?
Oh, also, can we also say that Mom is someone who gets, like, very infatuated with her significant other very fast.
Yes, she is a woman who loves love. She's romantic.
Yes. So I just feel like if there were a situation in which, you know, it was like, I really want to be with this man I just met, but that means that I have to stop being a mermaid. Mom would totally do it in 2 seconds.
Well, if there weren't other factors in her life, like children or something, if you were unencumbered, I could see that happening.
So unlike Marissa, she's happily single. I'm happily attached.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yes.
wrong with
Yeah.
that. It's very Ariel.
You're married, like.
That's true. She is happily
I
attached.
am happily attached.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hardest to pick for Amy
Why?
because a lot of the princesses are too saccharine,
That's true.
I'm thinking.
I mean, there's always Rapunzel.
That's true. I forgot about Rapunzel for some
Rapunzel
reason.
feels very Amy.
The girl from Tangled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one I was thinking of, but I was trying to give my reasons why.
Well, bubbly and fun.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to get out and explore the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always wants to be doing something. Like, I mean, not that she never has her veg days, but like, but she just wants to do stuff, you know?
Yeah.
She always wants to be with the people that she wants to be with. Like, she just doesn't want to be alone. And, like, that's fair on Rapunzel's part. And, well, I mean, not that it's not fair on Amy's part, but, like, Rapunzel was trapped in a tower and stuff.
She's like the opposite of Merida in that she is very extroverted.
Right.
But she, by force of her whole thing, is like forced to be introverted because she just has no friends to go out with.
Right. And also artsy. Amy's artsy.
Yes.
Got the beautiful blonde hair.
Blonde, yeah.
Beautiful blonde hair.
That's long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Optimistic. A little bit ditzy.
Mm-hmm.
Good singer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go.
I do very much like reptiles. I think they're very cute.
Well, there you go.
I don't know if I could like have a reptile as a pet, but I do love them and I love to interact with them.
But as a best friend,
as the best friend, yeah.
Also, though, Amy would totally go into a skeevy dive bar and then make a bunch of friends.
yeah.
I do like skeevy dive
Amy
bars.
can make friends everywhere she goes.
Thanks.
Mama Tiana.
What?
Mama's Tiana.
Oh, mom is Tiana?
Why?
Hardworking for sure.
Absolutely. Very driven.
Makes really good food when she wants to make it,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, mom doesn't cook that much, but when she does, it's like fabulous.
She has some of the best recipes. Like, she's not known for cooking all the time, but she has some iconic recipes that are so good that they have ruined all of those things for me at any other time. Like,
Literally.
I can't eat any other apple pie. I can't eat any other lasagna
Oh yeah. Yeah, lasagna especially.
because hers is too good and everything else doesn't compare.
Too good. Also, she's driven. She gets things done. Like, if she has a goal, she's gonna make it happen. Like, mom is very inspirational.
Yeah.
Aw, you guys are sweet.
She overcomes a lot.
Yes.
Well, there is that.
Also, she is such a romantic person that I feel like she could find romance as a frog.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fair. That is a good point. I think Marissa's second one is Belle. I feel like she is very intelligent, very pretty, very odd. That's my, very short assessment of Belle and Marissa. Karina had one for Ariel. She loves to read. She loves to be in her own little world in that way. She is not afraid to tell anyone that they fucking suck and to, really give to them any shit because they're being shitty, #Gaston. If some Gaston dude came up to her, Marissa's not gonna, roll over or try to placate them.
If
or
the hottest man in town that everyone was in love with came up to me and I thought he was a douchebag, I would not marry him even though he asked.
Exactly.
Right, but even the Beast, who would terrify everybody, she talked back to that guy when he
Yeah,
was...
she's out here being like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, Marissa would do the same thing. And she's also likely to find the good in anybody, whether it's the Beast or...
I would also
Whoever.
sacrifice myself for my family. If one of my family members was imprisoned and I had the option to take their place, I probably would.
Yeah.
Also, I just think that when Marissa does find someone, it's going to be someone that, she wasn't looking for, and it just kind of happened. And it's one of those people that, she's not going to change herself for them or anything. She's just going to kind of, be stubbornly herself. And then Honestly, her being stubbornly herself is what they are going to like anyway. But I think it's going to be one of those situations where, like, maybe other people don't see why she likes them, but eventually it's going to become so obvious that they're perfect for each other. Also an introvert. Very nice, very friendly, a great singer, likes to adventure in the Great Wide Somewhere.
And she can dance.
Yeah, she does have a whole iconic ballroom scene. Oh, yeah. Also, I think that Marissa's most likely to become friends with a clock and a candelabra, so...
What does that mean? Marissa's most likely to just become friends with the clock.
Yeah, full stop. I don't think that needs any further.
I just can't, like... That's such a funny concept. Like, Marissa just meets a clock. We're friends now.
I mean...
It sounds like me.
I'm gonna think of another one for Amy.
Yeah, I'm the last one.
I was kind of thinking of Jasmine because you would go out of your way for the person you love. You know, even when they maybe don't turn out to be who you thought they were, you would still love them and fight for them. Like she did with Aladdin, even though he was a good person, but he didn't seem like what everybody expected. She still went for him. And she gets out there, and she's a fabulous singer, too.
I can definitely see Amy having that conversation was like, you didn't have to pretend you were someone else. I would have accepted you for who you are.
Right. And she saw through it and still liked him.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she was disappointed when she found out he had lied, but she still
But she
liked
wasn't
him.
disappointed that he wasn't a prince. She was just upset that he had lied to her. And I feel like that's Amy. She doesn't care if you're going to be rich or poor. She just cares about who you are as a person and being able to trust you.
Right.
Yeah, and don't lie to me is a big one for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, she also, she's romantic in that she doesn't want to settle. You know, she's not necessarily like itching to get married, but she's like, if I do get married, I want it to be for love and all this stuff.
Pick the person.
Yeah. And also, she wants to go out and explore the world.
Yeah,
I feel like that's Amy.
adventure. It was very adventurous. You know, she went out on that magic carpet. She trusted him and
Also,
got out
she's
there. And...
very flirtatious.
She's also curvy as hell, so...
Very sexy.
She's the closest any Disney princess has gotten to being porn. Because they straight up turned her into like a sex slave for a minute there.
Yeah.
They did.
Which is like real weird, but...
Honestly, it was hot to me as a kid. It might be why I like Jasmine so much. I was just so into her.
Amy likes sex, so that's as close as you can get is with Jasmine.
Hell yeah.
You've always been a cat lover since you were a kid, and man, if you ever had the opportunity to have a tiger,
If I could
you
have
would
a tiger, oh, that'd be so cool. I would love that. I get so jealous in those videos where they're like, just like regular people who are just hanging out with big cats for whatever reason.
Yeah, it does seem cool.
I was trying to stay away from Jasmine because I didn't want to like pander to your favorite things, but like, no, it's true.
That I did end up with my two favorites. Maybe I only like princesses that remind me of me. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah. She is sassy also. I don't know if we said that, but...
Yeah, she's sassy.
All right. In conclusion, Amy is Rapunzel and Jasmine. Marissa is Merida and Belle. Ina is Elsa and Snow White. And Mom, our special guest, is Ariel and Tiana.
Woohoo! I feel like you can't go wrong with Disney Princess. I feel like there's not a Disney Princess where it's like, that's insulting.
That's true. I don't think you can. I mean, for us, it would be Cinderella.
The Fesses don't particularly like Cinderella, nor do we like Aurora. As children, we were biased against Cinderella because it just felt a little too Mary Sue.
I like Aurora a lot better than Cinderella. I think that Aurora's problem, she just didn't have any screen time, despite the movie being about her.
I don't know. I think now that I'm older, I look at Aurora and I'm like, she could have had more personality.
Yeah.
And also,
She fell for the first person that she laid eyes on.
well, yeah, so did Ariel.
Fair.
So did Snow White. So did a lot of them. But Aurora, I just have never gotten behind the fact that she finds out she's a princess and then sobs. She's so upset to find out she's a princess.
She wants her 3 lesbian moms.
Her 3 lesbian moms did lie to her whole life, and she missed the life of being a princess. But the fact that she's like, I'm a princess? It's really, it never sat right with me.
Well, I think it's more than that, too, because she's like, you're a princess and you're betrothed to someone, and she doesn't realize the person she's betrothed to is the rugged man from the woods she fell in love with.
I've only met one man,
Well, that was
and he was so hot.
That was my point with her falling for the first person, because she literally was sheltered in that cabin without seeing anybody. And the very first other person besides the three fairies.
Yeah, I feel like you can't blame her, though. I mean, she sees a hunk like that.
Yeah. She's like, wow, people are great.
Right,
But I feel like she could have fallen in love with any man that crossed her path. She's like, this is what a man is? Ooh. Grimsby.
Grimsby! Crackship!
New crackship.
Crackship!
Crackship. Aurora Grimsby. If Grimsby were the first man she saw, she would have been in love with him.
Is their ship name a Rimsby?
A Grimsby?
They love to rim.
Hey, rimming. I do think the only other Disney princess that we have a bone to pick with is only because Disney considers her a princess, but she is in no way a princess, and that's Mulan. I do love the story of Mulan.
Yeah, love her as a character. Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, her story is great. Her movie is incredible. But she just is not a princess in any way, and so the fact that Disney calls her a princess, it makes me mad.
Yeah.
I think they're a little afraid to make a female-led movie where it's not like a princess. They're just like, we've made this movie, and at that time at least, they were only making really princess movies.
Yeah, they were afraid.
You can just make a good movie with a chick in the lead role. She doesn't have to be a new princess for your lineup. You could still sell toys about her. Anyway, here's our next question. This is from Abby Rose C., friend of the show, Abby Rose C. She sent this in, and it says, if you had to eat a character from SpongeBob, which would you choose and why?
What? Larry the Lobster, because I love butter and I've never tried lobster and I'm interested.
And he's meaty.
He is meaty, as far as lobsters go.
He's a honkin' lobster.
He's a good catch for a lobster. And I've always wanted to try lobster, mainly because I love butter.
Looking at Larry the Lobster, he is either whale-sized or Pearl is like the most pathetic excuse for a whale.
She's a teenage whale, so she's still like a little bit small.
Yeah.
She should not be able to fit in Bikini Bottom. So she, I feel like, is just a really pathetic looking whale. Like,
So true.
just you would not want to eat her because she has no meat on her bones as for whales.
She's a scrawny whale.
Do people eat starfish? Like, I'm not saying I
No.
want to eat Patrick, but like, do they?
I don't think so.
I don't believe that you can.
They're like very tongue-like in texture.
But if you could eat him, you could eat him one limb at a time.
Ooh.
His limbs would grow back. Infinite fish.
Oh, he's the phoenix!
He is the phoenix! A quick Google does say you won't find starfish on most restaurant menus in North America, but a starfish on a stick is a popular treat in and around China and Japan.
All right.
Infinite food. Infinite food.
It says it is fairly subtle flavor with a slight hint of bitterness.
I would eat Sandy the squirrel.
I was
Yes.
about to also say Sandy the squirrel.
What?
Because I hate fish.
I was going to say, seafood is not my favorite.
I don't like seafood.
And I've had squirrel before, and it tastes like
What?
chicken.
You did?
You've had squirrel before!
Oh, Mom.
Elaborate.
When I was growing up, my brother used to go hunting, and he brought home a rabbit and a squirrel once, and it was... My mom made a stew out of both of them.
Squirrel rabbit stew.
They were both so
stew.
tiny, so
How do you know it was a squirrel and not the rabbit?
they both tasted like chicken.
All right. I mean, I'm used to eating mammals. I feel like it wouldn't be that different. Also, I just really don't want to eat fish if I can help it.
My question is there a salmon in SpongeBob? Like, is Fred the fish a salmon or something?
One of them's gotta be.
Like, whichever one of the SpongeBob citizens is a salmon is the one I do want to eat. Let's see. Oh, there's a couple of them. Frank the fish. Frank the fish. Frank is a salmon. I would eat Frank the fish because salmon is my favorite fish.
There you go.
But I have to say, if you like sardines, I mean, Fred the fish, the my leg guy. Oh, just kidding. He's not a sardine, but they do have many sardines
Yeah,
in that.
those are the ones that go meep.
Meep,
Oh, those
meep,
were
meep, meep,
nematodes.
meep, meep, meep.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
No, those are anchovies.
anchovies.
So maybe Frank the fish is a sardine. I mean, not Frank the fish. Fred the fish. My leg.
I don't think they specify what the fish are.
Yeah.
Don't think it really matters.
They are what you imagine them to be.
Who would be the worst to eat? Probably SpongeBob, right?
Yeah, I don't think you eat sponges.
Squidward.
People eat squid a lot.
Sponges are not edible.
Are you sure sea sponges can't be eaten? Because I feel like they would try somewhere.
You probably could, but like, what nutrition would you get from it? And that texture.
I mean, they did draw him to look like a kitchen sponge, but,
Yeah, but
let's see if you could eat it.
As a kid, I always really wanted to try the jellyfish jelly.
I've just looked it up. It says, most, if not all, sponges are toxic to some degree.
aha.
If you try to eat a sponge, the toxin might manifest as anything from a really horrible taste to a medical emergency. So, SpongeBob can kill you if you try to eat him.
I would maybe try eating Gary, like escargot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I do want to say that SpongeBob is not the worst character you can eat, though.
Mrs. Puff.
No, the worst one you can eat is Karen, the computer wife.
Try to take a bite out of that.
Exactly.
What about a sea bear? I want to eat a sea bear.
Ooh, a sea bear.
That's a lot of meat. Or let's all get together and just eat the pirate.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about that. Patchy the pirate.
What about plankton?
That would be the tiniest meal.
It would be a snack. Little appetizer.
Oh.
No, let's eat David Hasselhoff.
Sacrifice him at the altar of Hoff.
Let us eat David Hasselhoff.
He will give us a hassle.
Delicious.
Well, that's all the ice breaking we can do today. If we break any more ice, we'll fall right into Bikini Bottom and be consumed by the citizens who know we now want to eat them. If you'd like to send us a question, message us on Facebook or Instagram at Fess Up Podcast. Send us an email at fessuppodcast@gmail.com. Tweet a question at us at fessup_podcast. And don't forget to use the hashtag UbFest. Send us new questions or let us know what happened when you used our icebreakers with your friends. Share our podcast with everyone you know and get the word out there about your 3 wacky friends and their mom.
Yay, hi.
That's it for me. I've been Amy Fess.
I've been Marissa Fess.
And I've been Ina Fess.
And I'm the guest of Mom Fess.
The guest of Mom.
Mom brought a guest?
They were very quiet.
Yeah, herself. She is her guest.
Oh, she's her own guest. Thanks to Mom for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed our very special 30th episode of Fess Up. And if you didn't enjoy our 30th episode of Fess Up, you're a ficus and a fiscus. Get out of here.
Go on a fire trip.
Go on a fire trip.
Bye!
You've thrown off my groove.
Don't throw me out the window.